Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Minnesota Sports HQ. I'm Ben, and today we're going to look at the Wolves game. And that's pretty much all that happened, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's get started. Hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday evening. I'm going to try and get this up, possibly my earliest upload ever, at 11 p.m. It's just kind of hard because most of the games end at like 9, and then I have to record and edit my thoughts on them, so it can be pretty tough. But the only game today, thankfully on the East Coast, it was the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Orlando Magic. Now, the Magic, not great. They had a good start to the season, but they've kind of just fallen off a cliff. The Wolves, if we would have won today, we would have taken over that third spot in the playoffs. So, could have been pretty big. But unfortunately, we had the lead for most of the time, from what I saw. And we ended up losing to the Orlando Magic, who are 13-31. We lost 108-102. Now, that's not great. Kind of everybody on the team had a little below what I'd expect from them as a team. Andrew Wiggins had 9 with 33% field goal percentage, which really isn't great. Taj Gibson had 18 points. Karl Anthony Towns had 15 points and 12 rebounds. Jimmy Butler had 28 points. It's pretty good for him, but I really feel like Cat and Wiggins could have contributed a lot more. And now, Jeff Teague got 13 points, but again, his field goal percentage was pretty much 35%, which isn't really that great. Not much scoring off the bench either. Jamal Crawford had 8, Tyus Jones had 4, Bjelica had 2, Gorgui Dieng had 5. That's not too much to help us out. Over on the other side for Orlando, really the big star was Evan Fournier, who had 32 points. Absolutely insane. Aaron Gordon with 14, DJ Augustine with 18. That's really a surprise off the bench. They had a lot of bench points. That's actually pretty good. So now let's look at how this affects the standings. Well, Minnesota still sits in 4th, a half a game behind San Antonio still, after San Antonio lost last night, and Houston also lost last night, so we're still only 3 games behind them. And then, we are 7.5 games behind Golden State, but, thankfully we still have a nice cushion over 5th place Oklahoma City of 4 games, and then 4.5 over New Orleans, and then 5.5 over the Clippers, and 5.5 as well over Denver. So we do have a pretty good cushion for the playoffs. It's just a question of where we'll get seeded. We could even make the 2 seed. Who knows? But, right now it's looking like 3 or 4 is most likely. And, if we do have a bad rest of the season, well, bad. If we have, like, an okay rest of the season, we'll probably finish 5th or something like that. I can see Oklahoma City catching up to us. But that's okay. Really, as long as we make the playoffs, I don't think any of us can complain. Especially after how these last 12 years have gone as Minnesota fans. Now, looking at our chances to make the playoffs, it gives us over a 99% chance. Thank you, playoff status, for that number. Currently, right now, we have a 16% chance to get 2nd, a 32% chance to get 3rd, and a 32% chance to get 4th, and an 11% chance to get 5th. And really after that, it's just kind of minuscule chances that we'll get there. So, overall, I'm saying it's a good season so far. We haven't really been hurt by too much injury. Our guys are playing okay. We are a little weak, though, on the bench, which could be a problem. If we get into the playoffs and, our guys need some rest, we get injured, well, that could be a little bit of a problem. And now, I know you want to all hear my take on the conference finals games for football, but I mean, unfortunately, that video will either come out tomorrow or Friday, just depending who is available for me to record with. So be on the lookout for that. And one thing I really wanted to point out was the Eagles are actually favored in this game. Well, I mean, they are home, but I really think if we get a lead on these guys and they have to abandon their run game, I don't think we'll have too much of a problem. Playoffstatus.com, again, gives us a 45% chance to make the Super Bowl. I think they're a little bit underestimating us, and they're also underestimating the Jaguars. They give them a 23% chance of beating the Patriots. So I think some upsets would really be nice. And right now they're giving us a 26% chance to win the Super Bowl. I think if we make it to the Super Bowl, though, I think our odds will be increased because we'll be at home. I think that's part of the algorithm it works with. But you know what? Let me just remind you all of what we want to see.
Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
So now that we've watched that beauty, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Be on the lookout for that conference finals preview. And have a good night, everybody.